Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Om Vishnupada Parivamsakacharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. So, today we are reciting the verses from Canto 3, Chapter 30, the description of adverse fruitive activities, the title, and the text 6 and 7 we are covering today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, text 6. Please repeat with me. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Prabhuji. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Niruddha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Mataji. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhusu Nirudha Mula Hrudaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Okay, what two word meaning? Atma, body, Jaya, wife, Suta, children, Aghara, home, Pasu, animals, Dravina, wealth, bandhusu, in friends, niruddha moola, deep rooted, hridaya, his heart, atmanam, himself, bahu, highly, manyate, he thinks. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat with me. Such satisfaction with one's standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. Purport. This so-called perfection of human life is concoction. Therefore, it is said that the materialist, however materially qualified he may be, is worthless because he is hovering on the mental plane, which will drag him again to the material existence of temporary life. One who acts on the mental plane cannot get promotion to the spiritual. Such person is always sure to glide down again to material life. In the association of so-called society, friendship and love, the conditioned soul appears completely satisfied. I will read the text 7 as well. Please listen. Sandhyayamana sarvanga esham udana udvahanandane nandina karoti avirtam mudho durita durashaya. So Sandhyamana, burning, Sarva, all, Anga, his limbs, Esham, these family members, Udvana, for maintaining, Adhina, with anxiety, Karoti, he performs, Aviratam, always, Muda, the fool, Duritani, sinful activities, Durasaya, evil-minded. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society. Purport. It is said that it is easier to maintain a great empire than to maintain a small family, especially in these days, when the influence of Kali Yuga is so strong that everyone is harassed and full of anxieties because of acceptance of false presentation of Maya's family. The family we maintain is created by Maya. It is perverted reflection of the family in Krishna Loka. In Krishna Loka, there are also family, friends, society, father and mother. Everything is there, but they are eternal. Here, as we change bodies, our family relationship also change. Sometimes we are in a family of human beings, sometimes in a family of demigods, sometimes a family of cats, or sometimes a family of dogs. Family of society and friendship are flickering, and so they are called asat. It is said that as long as we are attached to this asat, temporary, non-existing society and family, we are always full of anxieties. The materialists do not know that the family, society and friendship here in this material world are only shadows, and thus they become attached. Naturally, their hearts are also always burning. But in spite of all inconvenience, they still work to maintain such false families because they have no information of the real family association with Krishna. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostu Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So welcome once again. So we'll continue the chapter 30th. Today we are covering 2 verses, 6 and 7. So, if you see the translation, such satisfaction with one's standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. The such satisfaction, it is continuing from the previous verse. If you see the previous verse, the text 5 translation, the conditioned living entity is satisfied in his own particular species of life. While deluded by the covering of influence of illusion energy, he feels little inclined to cast off his body, even when in hell, for he takes delight in hellish enjoyment. So in this verse, he's saying such satisfaction. So whatever the conditioned living entity is feeling low. So the Kapila Muni was explaining, wherever he is there in the material world, he will be feeling satisfied. He wanted to derive the happiness more and more where he is living. So he will spend extra effort to get, if the environment is not favorable, then he will spend more effort to get the enjoyment. So that is how. So in all these verses, Kapila Muni is mentioning the characteristic of conditioned soul in the material world. So it's like, so wherever he is there, he is always will try to derive the happiness. So it's like example, if you take a water, if you put it in a wide vessel, it will take the shape of the wide vessel. Similarly, if you put the tall vessel, the very big thing, so then it will try to adjust into the same vessel. The shape will get, water will be formed into according to the shape of the vessel. Same way, human being, in whichever body he takes, whether it is an animal body or human body, he will try to fulfill his desires. It's like, actually, this is on the material platform. Like if such attitude is there in spiritual platform, where our consciousness is on Krishna, and it doesn't matter where we are living, we can progress. If we are progressing on Krishna consciousness, that is helpful. But it's unfortunately, even if this is on a material platform, we are discussing where our activities will drag into the more deeper into the material region. So suppose if a person is living in the slum area, like, so he will try to have his family, his children, and he will try to provide all the facilities. So he will work hard to fulfill their family needs. But person who is seeing from outside, he feels that, oh, okay, this person is the area is not very good, but still he is working hard to to make himself happy. Right? That is what the conditioned nature. So often in the Bhagavad Gita, in many of the purports, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, right, the living entity, conditioned soul, is a marginal energy of Krishna. So marginal means it's a tatastha, the neutral. So it has an option to go towards internal potency, internal energy, which is supreme spiritual world. Or he has the ability to go towards material energy, which is Maya, the illusion. So he has the free will. That free will, what he is using in this case, towards material nature, the Maya. So when he is getting attracted towards Maya, when he is using this free will, trying to go towards Maya, the material world, then this is how his behavior will be exhibiting. That's what Kapila Muni is describing. So the Maya is there, Spiritual energy is there, and we are the tatastha, marginal energy, but we try to go towards material energy. So if we try to understand a little bit, go deeper, why the conditioned living entity is trying to go towards material side, the external energy, it is due to his desire. When he was in spiritual abode, he wanted to enjoy like Krishna. He wanted to enjoy how the Supreme Lord Krishna is enjoying. He wanted to enjoy. But in the spiritual world, Purusha is only one Supreme Lord. Rest all are like they will be enjoying, they are trying to please Krishna, but the Krishna is the only enjoyer. So you cannot have same kind of enjoyment in spiritual world. So that's why he created this material world where we can come and enjoy in this event. That is where we tend towards marginal energy, trying to go to the external energy, and then we trying to enjoy. So Krishna, what he did, he created separate place for us to enjoy. Like example, we can take one material example. Suppose you all are young, right? So you came to Australia for studies. Like general example, some purposes, most of you got some studies or purpose, many different reasons, or some people came for a job. Like when you are starting your home from your country, whether it's India or Nepal, any country people. So what your parents will do, right? They will try to make you all the arrangements so that whenever you go, you feel happy. You will be comfortable, right? They will try to financially, they will help, and they will try to look for some helping hands in that local area where they known friends. They will try to connect with you so that they will make all the arrangements, necessary arrangements to make you comfortable. Same way, when we have the desire to enjoy this material world, Krishna has this created material world, and he just did not leave us there. What he did, he is expecting that you will come back to, after enjoyment is done, you have to come back to this material world. So what he said, he created the material world, he created all to come back to material world again. So he provided all the facilities, like he arranged spiritual master, he arranged Krishna, the books, every spiritual, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everything. So his intention is, Krishna's intention is, you will go through those literature, you will approach the bona fide spiritual master, and then you will come back to his abode. That was the expectation. So he did not leave just creating the material world, okay, you enjoy. No, he had tried to bring you back to his abode, and he created all the facilities to do that. Same thing, like when your parents, any person, you are coming here, then their expectation, family will think that, okay, my son after completion of studies or after he is going for a holiday to enjoy some holiday spot. So when you go there, the parents also will make all the arrangements, and the parents will think that, okay, after enjoyment is done, you will come back to his place. But if the son says, oh, here I am enjoying so much, I don't want to come back, right? So then what will happen? The parents will be feeling very sad, very unhappy, right? That same thing in a conditioned world, we are doing the same thing. We are thinking that Krishna is saying that this is not the right place to live. Come back, come back, come back. But what we are doing? No, this way is very so enjoyable, right? I wanted to enjoy here. I wanted to spend time here. Even though the place is not very good, you will have so many miserable things happening, so many problems you encounter. But only one moment of enjoy, or one small moment enjoyment you are taking and thinking that it's enjoy. This is a world is full of enjoyment. I have fully enjoying. Same, so like how your parents will feel bad when you are not coming back to home. Same way, Krishna is feeling bad and feeling. And he is trying to get back to you back. So this is our conditioned nature. So like what we are trying to do, like in our, if you see the Indian atmosphere, or in Nepal also it could be same. Suppose if the some people, politicians or any other people, criminals, they will be sentenced to jail. In first what they do, they'll try to get the bail and they'll come out. If they are not getting the bail, what they are trying? They'll try to upgrade the facilities in the jail. What they do? Okay, I need A-class jail. I need one TV, one need bed. So this is what the person is doing. So we are also in the conditioned world. We are trying to, this is a miserable place. Bhagavad Gita, in so many places, Krishna mentioned, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. This is a miserable place. Krishna says, it is a temporary place. You will not be staying here forever. So don't try to settle down here. But what we are trying to do, like in the jail, people are trying to upgrade their facilities. Here also we are trying to buy new car, new big house. So enjoy. That's why our focus. So like Krishna is telling all possible ways, but we are not in a position to listen those words. I try to narrate one small story which I heard from our spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Rasam Swami Maharaj. He narrated this story some time back. So it's a story, but it gives a message what we are doing here. So one person is very much interested in trekking, mountaining, right? So with group of people, he went to go for a trekking. So he was everybody started in the morning. So this guy was very active, energetic. He started climbing very fast, and remaining people are coming slowly. So by the end of the evening, which is getting dark, he's almost there, not close to the peak, but almost there. But remaining people, they are very far below, and it became dark. So in the mountain, it's like said, like if you take a Himalayan mountain, so as you go up, it will be very cold. The temperature will be less. You're feeling very cold. So the person, what happened suddenly? So he fell down. When he was climbing, he fell down. But so when you are going for trekking, he is equipped with all the facilities. He has a rope tied up to some base somewhere. So when he fell down, so he did not directly touch on the ground, but he was hanging due to the rope. So by the time he was trying to shout for the helping, but no one was there. So his friends were somewhere else, but they are not able to. They were thinking that he must have reached the top, but it became dark, and no one was there to help him. So he was praying, God, please help me. Then he heard a voice from God. God told, okay, what is the problem? So I'm hanging here, I have to go down. So then what he suggested? Okay, cut the rope. Then God suggested. Then this guy was very bewildered. Oh, if I cut the rope, I will fall down, I will die. No, if you have a faith on me, cut the rope. Then he was hesitant, and finally he denied God's word. He did not cut. And it was freezing cold, and finally, by the time next day sun rises, then he died. He passed away. All his friends, the people who started with his journey, then they were searching, finally they came here. Then when they saw here, he's hanging down, just his few inches away from the ground. Since it was dark, he was not able to see anything, how far he is down in the ground, how far he is away from the bottom earth, he is not able to recognize. And since it is dark, when the God was suggesting to cut the rope, he would have survived. He was I will land on the ground, he could have escaped from there. But he was not believing the God. That is our situation in our material world. So if he had cut the rope, he would have survived. But what happened? He was having his own interpretation. Oh, if I cut the rope, I will fall from. He was thinking that somewhere in the top he was hanging, and if he cut the rope, he will fall on the ground and he will die. That was his assumption. But he was almost there, just few inches away from the ground. He could not see in the dark. So how far is that? So this is how the material world is. We are in that same situation. God is telling so many things. Like this world is miserable, temporary. This is not the place to live. But we are always trying to accommodate more and more things in this world and trying to enjoy. This is one example to understand our situation in this material world. And if you see the second purport and text 7 purport, it was mentioned that it is that the easier to maintain the great empire than to maintain a small family, especially in these days when the influence of Kali Yuga is so strong that everyone is harassed and full of anxieties because of accepting the false presentation of Maya's family. The family we maintain is created by Maya. So that is what Prabhupada was mentioning in the commentary purport, that this family, whatever we are trying to facilitate in the whatever we wanted to trying to fulfill our desires, we want to have a family and everything, what Prabhupada is saying, it is Maya. But how we can understand is everything, all the families in this material world, it's like a Maya. So but often we see in the purports of Prabhupada, we use 2 words, Grahasta and Grihamedi. Right? So Grahasta, the difference between Grahasta and Grihamedi is, Grahasta will have a wife, kids, all the facilities in the house, and Grihamedi will also have a wife, children, and all the facilities in the house. But the difference is, Grahasta will look for self-realization. His aim is to understand who am I, what is our ultimate, what is my ultimate destination, what is my relation with Krishna. He is in the process of having that attaining that self-realization, and his family also he will try to keep his family members, everyone also in the same process. That is Grahasta. Whereas Gruhamedi is like his focus will be on full of enjoyment. He will have a wife, kids and everything, but their focus is not self-realization. Their focus is on only the sense enjoyment. That is the difference between the Gruhamedi and Grahasta. So here when we say the Maya's family means it is applicable, it is relevant to the Gruhamedis. That's what we can take that. So in this regard, so then the Gruhamedi, how the Grahasta will try to get the self-realization. What are the possible ways how we can? So in the 7th canto, 14th chapter, there was a nice conversation between Narada Muni and Yudhishthir. And Narada Muni Yudhishthir was asking questions, same in the Grahastha life, how we can progress in our life, spiritual journey. And Narada Muni was asking the same. So I'll try to take up few points from there and we will discuss. So first thing Narada Muni was asking is, okay, Grahastha was living in a household life. So how he can get the self-realization? That is the first question. The reason why he was asking is, in that olden days, what the basic approach for self-realization is, you have to go to a forest. You have to do severe austerities and do bhakti. Or you approach a spiritual master and go to a forest. Spiritual master will be somewhere, staying somewhere. It will not be in your house. So he will be having his ashram outside somewhere. So you will go go there, you will approach him and you will do all the services. Then all those different services, because we know in the Bhagavad Gita, tad vidhi pranipatena praniprasnena sevaya upadekshayanti te jnanam jnanina tattva darshana. So you go to the spiritual master, you serve him. When he is pleased, he will give the instructions. Then you apply your instructions in your life, you will be following. So in the same, then that is the approach the people follow in the olden days. Then how Grahastha can attain the self-realization in our case. So the Narada Muni was saying the same thing, that okay, you don't need to go to the forest. In the current world, people, it's not practical. So it was mentioned the Vanaprasthashram starts at the age of 50, means you have to go to the forest. But in the current scenario, it's not practical. What Narada Muni was saying is, whatever you are doing in the house, you make Krishna in the center, offer everything to Krishna. So your family, try to bring up family in the nice Krishna conscious environment. Try to offer whatever money you are getting, you try to spend money in the spiritual way, rather than fully for your sense enjoyment. Focus on these spiritual Krishna conscious, donate to the temple or do all the Krishna conscious arrange programs, feed Brahmanas, so many things he was suggesting to follow. And the next question he was asking is, what to do when suppose if as a Grahastha you are inviting some sant, some spiritual person, elevated person, what is our aim? What should we do? Right? That is what Yudhishthira was asking. So in that case, Narada Muni was saying that when we invite our spiritual master or any senior sannyasi or any elevated soul, we invite to our house, what Grahastha will generally ask, okay, I have this problem, I have that problem, my family is not doing good in this area. All people will ask these kind of questions. But what should be our ultimate discussion with our spiritual master, right? How can I progress in our spiritual journey? That should be our motto. Take the instructions. Take those instructions, apply in your life. So, by staying as a Grahastha, also you can attain the self-realization. But what you need to do? You need to make the environment Krishna conscious way. You invite the spiritually elevated people and take the instructions and apply in your life. So generally we say devotees association. Devotees association means how we should understand. Suppose example, one mosquito is there and it is staying on the king's crown for longer time, and the mosquito feels that, oh, I am having association with the king. Is that a real association? No. So similarly, this is what we can. So if you take some spiritual master or sannyasi came and you take a nice photo with him and you put it in social media, so I got an association. Is that an association? No. Right? That is not that we are looking the association. Association means you need to serve the spiritual master, do all the services, feed prasadam, and when he is satisfied with your behavior approach, Then he will give you the instruction. Do these activities. This. So when you do those activities, then when you do all those things, then you will start going into the path of spiritual realization. You will be in the path of bhakti. So that is how, these are the things Narada Muni is saying to Yudhishthira. And Yudhishthira was asking, like considering not just for himself, it is all beneficial to all the mankind, human being. So the another thing is like in this association of the Supreme Lord and devotees, how we can. So one more example. Suppose if you have an iron rod, so you have a big tub. If you put iron rod in the big tub, what will happen? It will sink, right? It's heavy and it will go down. Whereas if you take a wooden stick, if you put in the water, same tub, big water tub, so what will happen? It will float. But if you want to make this iron rod floating on the water, what you can do? You can tie up with a wooden stick, then it will float. Right? The same analogy we can apply. So we are like iron rod, where we are having full of dirt. And then our spiritual master is like a Srila Prabhupada. Our spiritual master, they are our like a wooden stick kind of thing. So when you take their lotus feet, you hold tightly and follow their instructions. It's like you are tied up with a wooden stick. And then what will happen? You will float on the water rather than sinking. This material ocean is like that, full of water, right? It's a material ocean, big ocean. We are having so many missing. So if you don't want to sink in this material ocean, you have to tie up the feet of his lotus feet. Your spiritual master lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada lotus feet. Then you will be floating in the water and you will reach the bank, right? Other side of the ocean. Right? That is what we are needed. That is what the association means. That is where it will help you to cross this material ocean. And in this regard, there was one story I was hearing from one of the lectures. So, Srila Prabhupada's story. So, once Srila Prabhupada went to the Visakhapatnam, in Andhra. Right? It was that land. He was also accompanied by his disciples like the Gurudas Prabhu and a couple of other. So one day Prabhupada stayed for a longer time, I think 1 week or 10 days. So every day morning he was going there was a beach and he was going on a walk in the beach. And this Gurudas, he wanted to accompany Prabhupada and he was sudden one day he was waiting for Srila Prabhupada and he didn't notice, but Prabhupada already started walking on the beach. And then by the time he realized that the Prabhupada already went a bit far. So Gurudas, he didn't get a chance to get his chappal or shoe, and instead of then he started running very fast to catch Srila Prabhupada. Because it was a beach, there were so many stones available. So and when he was running to chase Srila Prabhupada, he was having the pain, like because all the stones were there, he was not able to walk properly and it is causing some pain too. But he was feeling the pain, but at the same time he is running and finally he reached Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada saw this and said, why you didn't wear your shoe? So then Gurudas told, Prabhupada, when I see you, I will forget all my pains. That's what in an ecstasy mode, Gurudas told Prabhupada that, okay, if I see you, I will forget all my pains. Then Srila Prabhupada said, okay, is that true? Then I will take the knife and cut your throat so that you will not have any pain. So then later Srila Prabhupada smiled and said, no, see, we cannot create our own austerities like this. So, see, like example, Prabhupada. So, he was thinking that, okay, Prabhupada is there, that's enough. I don't need to bother about other things like you wearing shoes or everything, right? So, in our material life also, people will do, like on their own, they will do so many austerities. Okay, Monday I do this, for this God I will do fasting. And Tuesday for another God. Wednesday, or they will create their own austerities thinking that they will have a self-realization. But Srila Prabhupada is saying, don't do any other extra austerities, don't create on your own austerities, assuming that you will have a self-realization. Just follow the Guru's instructions. We already have Shastra instruction, follow your bona fide Guru instruction. You don't need to follow any other things. This is the example. So, in the process of self-realization, Grahasta people will try to do many other things, based on their assumption, their understanding, or someone is doing something, they try to imitate, right? They just simply think, associate with the Vaishnava, associate with the Guru, get the instructions and follow. That is the simple clear, without any confusion. That is a prescription Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters are giving to follow that. And getting the association. And generally in Grahasta life, people will think that, okay, I'm doing so much service. I think so. I'm in the path of bhakti. I don't need to read any books. I don't need to study any books, right? Because I am busy with service. I know I am getting the Krishna's mercy with bhakti. I am getting, so I am happy. But is that true? So we need to get the association. Prabhupada was there, but now he is not on this planet. We don't have the personal association with the Prabhupada directly. But previously, the many acharyas, the spiritual masters, they got direct physical association with the Prabhupada. But we don't have any direct association. Similarly, when we take the spiritual master shelter, he will not be there with us every time, right? He will be going on his preaching mission, his mission, right? You will not be there with him all the time. So what is the best way? How we get the association of Prabhupada? How we get the association of spiritual master? With his books. When we study his books, we get the association. So through their books, through their instructions, we can apply in our life, we can progress. So in this instance, I would like to ask one question. When we say, like often Prabhupada, many our spiritual masters say, study my books. You don't need any other thing. Prabhupada said many times, you study my books, you don't need any other things. So, but yeah, people will study and some people will read. The difference between the read and study, any idea? What is the difference between reading the book and studying the book?
Study the book, like you scrutinize it and analyze it and think about it and understand it.
Yes.
Reading is just going through, studying is going deeply.
Yes, true. So when you are reading the Bhagavatam or when you are reading the Bhagavad Gita, what you have to do? You have to go in deep. You understand, analyze, connect with the different verses or analyze. Then you understand. That is what studying, and take the instructions. Just reading means, okay, just you reading it. Whatever is there, it's your luck. Whatever you remember, you remember. Whatever you did not remember, that's it. You were gone. So this is what the Prabhupada says. Studying my books means this is what we have to do. We need to thoroughly read the books, study the books, understand it. So compare it and do more analysis. So try to make in your own words understanding. So that way we have to study the books. Then we get the association of Srila Prabhupada. We get the association of our spiritual master. And one more thing, Narada Muni was instructing to Srila Yudhishthira in this conversation, right? So he mentioned one important thing. So Narada Muni was saying that gradually we have to detach from your family. That's what Narada Muni was mentioning in that conversation with Yudhishthira. Then this is a big statement. When you see directly in the Grahasta life, what Narada Muni is saying that, okay, you have to detach from the family life. But what it means, it's a big statement. But Her Grace Nitai Sevini Mataji was explaining this in very nice way, where for Grahasta life, what it means. See, suppose a householder is there. He is working hard. He is earning job. He is doing job. He is earning money and feeding his family members, wife and children. Then he thinks that, okay, I am working hard and I am getting money and feeding. So he will have he will try to expect something from the family, right? That is called attachment. That is called. So what Narada Muni is expecting? So everything you have to do with love and compassion, but without expecting any return. That is called the detachment. He is not saying that leave your family and go away. But what he is saying is, whatever you are doing, actually devotee is compassionate nature. His nature is compassionate. He is having the love towards Krishna, and he will have a love towards devotees as well. But what it means, renouncement means, in this detachment means, you stay with family, you express your love, you express your compassion, but unconditional. Don't expect anything in return. That attachment you have to minimize. That is what Narada Muni is saying. So the Grahastha life, how we can apply this? This is another instruction, important inspection, where everyone can follow. You don't need to get the self-realization, to follow bhakti. You don't need to come out of the family. You stay with family. You have the loving relation with family. You take care of the husband, wife, kids, everything nicely. But at the same time, you don't need to attach to don't expect anything in return. It's a pure unconditional love. That is what Krishna is expecting, right? When we try to do in the previous last few chapters, Kapila Muni was expecting, right? Unmotivated, ahetuki apratihata, right? Without any hetu, without any motivation, we have to serve Krishna. The way we are trying to serve Krishna, same thing we have to deal with our family members. We have to take care of them nicely, but don't develop any return expectation. That is how Krishna, the Narada Muni is expecting. So in this case also there was one pastime from Ramanujacharya pastime that also gives us one small story. That also gives us an example of how the detachment is. So one day Ramanujacharya was there and one person came to approach Ramanujacharya and asking, telling that person was telling Ramanujacharya, so I married and I had a wife and 40 years we stayed. Now my wife died. So I don't have anything. Can you give me sannyasa? That's what that person asked Ramanujacharya. And then that person, Ramanujacharya said, no, you are not ready to get sannyasa. Then another person came. He was crying. What his situation was, he lost his son and he was crying a lot. And then Ramanujacharya said, he was also, then that person was, by seeing him, so Ramanujacharya said, immediately, I wanted to give you sannyasa there. Then this person asked, the person who did not get the sannyasa, he asked Ramanujacharya, what is the reason? That person is crying for his son and you are giving him sannyasa. But other side, I lost my wife, I don't have any regret and sorrow, you are not giving me sannyasa. What is the reason? Why the differentiation? Then Ramanujacharya told, see, you don't have any love towards any of them. Having the love and compassion is the basic thing of a devotee. Since you don't have that, even you stayed with your wife 40 years, but you don't have any pain or sorrow in your heart that you lost your wife. But other side, this person is having very regretting and is crying for his son. So what the underlying principle is, the compassion and love is important characteristic of the devotee. So that is what we have to, in the Grahasta life, these things we have to develop. We don't need to renounce anything. We can stay with the family, but unconditional love, unconditional compassion we have to exhibit. The example what Ramanujacharya is saying, if you have to get the sannyasa also, you need to have a compassionate nature. Since you are not able to love your wife, then how you will show compassionate to other people? That was Ramanujacharya's argument. So you get married, you develop love, and then you come back and take sannyasa. That is what Ramanujacharya suggested him. So the basic thing is, the love and compassion is important quality. We should never ignore. Either it is a sannyasi or your Grahasta life, everybody will show that. That is a devotee quality. It is a quality of a devotee, right? So that is the important aspect we need to say in the Grahasta life as well. I think we are running short of time. There are many things we can discuss, but finally at least we got the glimpse in the Grahasta life how we can develop our devotion. The next one is, so in your case, when the family is in a devotion path, you will be doing nice services in the temple and you are coming to the temple every day, or you are attending the classes, you are inviting many people to your house, organizing programs, so many things you are doing. But some people will say, okay, why you are doing these activities at this age? You can do at the later stage. Why you are fully involved in it? Don't do too much devotion. Don't do too many activities. Some people may advise. So many people will give you many advices in these circumstances. What Narada Muni was saying, that just listen and say, okay, nice suggestion, but you proceed as per based on your guru's instructions, senior devotee's instructions. So you continue, take the instructions from guru and follow the guru instruction. You don't need to follow each and every person instruction. Take your bona fide guru or senior Vaishnava, senior devotee, approach him, take his instructions. You don't need to follow everyone. When you are doing something, 100 people give 100 advices, right? So you don't need to follow everyone's advice. You take the spiritual master or senior devotee with whom you are very much comfortable, who take those. So like this, there are many instructions Narada Muni and was giving in to Yudhishthira in the 7th canto, 14th chapter. So but I thought in this scenario, it's better I thought of revising those instructions. So it was helpful for Grihastha to follow these instructions and progress in the bhakti path. So I will conclude here. Any comments? Yes, Prabhu.
In the text 6 purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that one who acts on the mental plane cannot get promotion to spiritual. So under what platform should one act? Isn't it the mind, the consciousness with which one can actually get promoted to spiritual platform, spiritual world, I mean to say? Because in Bhagavad Gita it's mentioned, it's the consciousness, it's actually the mind. You can actually, uncontrolled mind can be your worst enemy, but whereas, a tamed mind can be your best friend. Isn't that the mind which is actually determining whether you will actually go to the next planet, whether you will stay there or whether you get promoted? So why is that Prabhupada mentioned that the mental?
See, if you see the Prabhu, before that line, what Prabhupada mentioned, therefore it is said that the materialist, however materially qualified he may be, is worthless because he is hovering on the mental plane. So, the mental plane in this case, what is saying, is materially qualified. That's what the prefix. So what is the mental situation of materially qualified? So he will be thinking only on his intelligence, mind and false ego. Everything is making him to think as a material body, right? So in that context, that way he's saying that is where the previous line, if you say, this is for materially qualified people, their mental situation is to enjoy this material world. That is what Prabhupada is trying to refer.
You take it as a standalone statement.
Yeah.
It's what which is.
See, the standalone thing, it's the mental mind's consciousness, that's what. You have a marginal energy, you are the marginal energy. Your consciousness, your intelligence can take towards Krishna or Maya. It all depends on how your situation is. If you are associating with devotees, your consciousness will change and you will go towards Krishna. But if your association is with material qualified people, you think in that direction, you will go towards Maya. That's how you can say.
And also, Prabhu, the next shloka in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that in Krishna Loka there are also family, friends, society, father and mother. Everything is there. Is this exactly the situation 5,000 years ago in the Bhuloka Vrindavan? Is that what it used to be? And
Okay, in this exact sense, see, this material world is, first thing we have to understand, there are multiple things we can take. First thing, this material world is perverted reflection of spiritual world. So whatever is happening in the spiritual world, same thing we are trying. See, what is our ultimate aim? We wanted to enjoy like Krishna. That was our desire. So when we came here, we try to have the similar situation, the way Krishna is trying to enjoy in the spiritual world. Here also we are trying to have the same. So the family was there in Krishna Loka, everything. Krishna's mother, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, everything there in spiritual world, right? So similarly, as a human being, we wanted to have a mother, father, wives, children. That's how we are trying to enjoy. So in the same way, when the Krishna descended in 5,000 years ago, when he came, he had the similar, the Leelas he performed to showcase us. That's how we can take that. Yeah. Any kind of other comments? Any questions? Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrunda ki jai.